it is because he wanted me to move to Detroit and stop singing. And not use this? I don't.
Patti Labelle at the age of 80 confirms the heartbreaking rumors. Patti has been an inspiration for years, but recent news has left fans worried.
I said very nicely, the engagement is off. I have to sing for the rest of my life, no matter what. If they weren't paying me.
Is it true that she has faced and is still facing serious challenges now? What could this mean for her future? Let's explore the facts behind these tragic rumors and how Patti is handling them.
Well, as a child, I was very shy. I would sing in the bedroom with a broom, pretending the broom was a microphone. And I would throw down. I mean, I was awesome by myself.
Before soul music exploded in the 1970s, there was Patti Labelle, a trailblazer who helped put Philadelphia on the map for music. Known as the godmother of soul, Patti Labelle brought her powerful voice to the world, mixing soul, rock, and even early disco. Her journey to becoming a music legend wasn't easy.
So I started practicing as a child to become a singer. The first time I sang with my choir rehearsals, my choir director would not let me sing with the background.
Born Patricia Louise Holt on May 24, 1944, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Her father, Henry, worked on the railroad and sang at nightclubs, while her mother, Bertha, took care of the family. Even though they weren't poor, life wasn't smooth for young Patti. When she was 12, her parents split up after her mother endured years of Despite the separation, Patti stayed close to her dad till he passed away. As a child, Patti was known as Patsy. She was shy and quiet, not at all what you'd expect from a future music star. In fact, Patti once said she thought she'd grow up to be a housewife. "I was very shy and introverted," she admitted in a documentary about her life. "I didn't think I'd become a singer. I kept a lot of my feelings inside." But her life took a darker turn when she faced another traumatic experience. After her parents' divorce, Patti was by a family friend. It was a painful memory she kept to herself for many years. Through all this, Patti found comfort and strength in her church. Singing in the choir became her escape and a way to grow her musical talent.
But you have to. She said, God has blessed you with something that's so special, you can't hide it with the chorus. You have to go out as a solo performer. I said, Miss Chapman, I can't. Honey, she made me.
While she was growing up, she listened to secular music styles such as R&B and jazz music as well. When she was 16, Labelle won a talent competition at her high school, John Bartram High School. The success led to her first singing group, the Ordettes, in 1960 with schoolmates. With Labelle as the front woman, the group became a local attraction until two of its members left to marry, while another was forced to quit the group by her religious father.
When we came in to audition for him, he had a record label. His name was Harold B. Robinson, and he had a recording studio in his basement of the car dealership. And when he saw me, he said, oh no.
I mean, success doesn't happen overnight, especially in the music world. It takes years of hard work, practice, and finding the right team. Patti Labelle's journey to fame shows just how much effort it takes to make it big.
He said, but we brought them here so that you could hear them. So he said, sing, you never walk alone. I sang, and that man almost fell on his knees. He said, oh my God, she's ugly, but she can sing.
Anyway, the group had to later include 3 new members: Sarah Dash, Nona Hendrix, and Cindy Birdsong. The 4 of them worked hard, performing every day at different venues along the East Coast. They had dropped out of high school to focus on music, hoping to make a name for themselves. Their big break came in 1962 with a song called I Sold My Heart to a Junkman. But how they ended up recording that song is quite the story. A man named Harold B. Robinson, who was a car dealer trying to start a record label, had first worked with another girl group called the Starlets. He convinced them to record the song, even though they were signed to another label. The Starlets reluctantly agreed, and the song was recorded. Later, Robinson started his label, Newton Records, and released the song. But instead of giving credit to the Starlets, he listed the group name as the Bluebells. Meanwhile, Robinson met the Ordettes, now Patti Labelle's group, and asked them to audition. Unaware of what had happened with the Starlets, the Ordettes also recorded the song.
The first time she was on the Apollo stage, she was in a group called Patti Labelle and the Bluebells, and they were on the stage here at the Apollo in 1962. Her hit was I Sold My Heart to the Junkman.
As the song became a hit, drama followed. The starlet's manager found out and sued Robinson. Caught in the middle of this mess were Patti Labelle and her group, now called Patti Labelle and the Bluebells.
It was Sarah Dash, Nona Hendrix, Cindy Birdsong, and Patti LaBelle.
After the drama with Harold Robinson and the Starlets, the Bluebells recorded several top 40 hits. Things seemed to be going well, but in 1965, they switched to Atlantic Records. Sadly, their time with Atlantic didn't go as planned. The group struggled to match their earlier success. To make things worse, Cindy Birdsong left to join the Supremes, replacing Florence Ballard.
Diana Ross wanted Cindy Birdsong to replace Florence Ballard, so Cindy left us just standing one night, waiting for her to come out and play. And Miss Thing was in Detroit with the Supremes. I said,
By 1970, things started to change when British TV producer Vicky Wickman became their manager. She decided to rebrand the group as Labelle and gave them a fresh, glittery rock style. This was a smart move.
we went on stage with just the three of us, and we realized that we're going to be the three of us. Let's change our name. And we ended up being three. I said, let's not look for a fourth girl. Let's just stay the way we are. So we learned to harmonize.
The group found a new level of fame, including their first Billboard #1. One song, Lady Marmalade. In her book, Don't Block the Blessings, Patti LaBelle wrote about some of their achievements. They were the first black pop act to perform at the Metropolitan Opera House and the first black vocal group to be featured on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. Pretty impressive, right?
Your lady mama
But even with all this success, things weren't perfect behind the scenes. By the mid-1970s, the group started falling apart because the three members couldn't agree on their musical direction. Patti LaBelle wanted to sing soul ballads, Nona Hendrix was all about glam rock, and Sarah Dash preferred disco. The differences caused tension. During a show in December 1976, things hit a breaking point. Nona Hendrix walked off stage before the last song and later had a mental breakdown. She was rushed to the hospital and the group decided to call it quits. Patti shared a shocking story about her early days in the music industry, about what happened during one of her tours. This story involved Jackie Willson, a famous singer from the 1950s and 1960s. Nicknamed Mr. Excitement, Jackie Willson was known for his incredible performances and hit songs. But like some stars, he also had a darker side. In her autobiography, Don't Block the Blessings, Patti wrote about a scary moment she experienced in the early 1960s. Back then, Patti was just starting her career, while Jackie Willson was already a big star. The incident happened backstage at the Brevoort Theater in Brooklyn, New York. Patti said she was alone backstage when someone came up from behind and started kissing her neck. When she turned around, she realized it was Jackie Willson. Patti remembered smelling alcohol on his breath. Things quickly got worse. Jackie and another man grabbed Patti and tried to carry her into a locked room. Patti was terrified. She didn't have a weapon and wasn't strong enough to fight them off. But instead of giving up, she screamed as loudly as she could. Her screams scared them, and they let her go. Patti ran away and avoided what could have been a much worse situation. This was a dark moment in Patti LaBelle's life, and she felt it was important to share her story. Interestingly, Jackie Willson never denied what Patti said about that night. By speaking out, Patti LaBelle showed great courage, helping to shed light on the challenges women often deal with behind the scenes.
It is because he wanted me to move to Detroit and stop singing and not use this. I don't know.
Now here is something many folks don't know. Do you know that Patti was once engaged to Otis Williams, a founding member of the Temptations? Yep, it's true. This was back in the early 1960s when both were rising stars in the music world. Their love story was short but sweet and left a lasting mark on both their lives. They met when Patti was just starting to make a name for herself in music. Otis Williams, on the other hand, was already famous as part of the Temptations, the then biggest groups in the country. When the Temptations came to Philadelphia for a show, Patti met Otis and sparks flew. They began dating soon after. At first, their relationship was exciting and full of romance. But looking back, Patti admitted she wasn't sure if she loved Otis for who he was or if she was just caught up in his fame. Not long after they started dating, Otis asked Patti to marry him. She said yes at first, but as the months went on, she began to have second thoughts. Otis wanted Patti to move to California, where he lived, and step back from her music career to focus on being a wife and possibly starting a family. Patti loved Otis, but she loved her music even more.
I said very nicely, the engagement is off. I have to sing for the rest of my life, no matter what. If they weren't paying.
In her autobiography, Don't Block the Blessings, Patti shared how difficult this decision was for her. In the end, she decided to break off the engagement. She couldn't imagine giving up her dream of being a singer. Otis respected her choice, and the two remained good friends over the years. Now back to her career. When the group Labelle broke up, many thought Patti Labelle would instantly become a big solo star. I mean, her first solo album, Patti Labelle, seemed like a strong start. The album included songs like Joy to Have Your Love,
Such a joy to feel your love. Never said
Dance With Me,
come on and dance with me. I ain't gonna wait all night.
and You Are My Friend.
You are my friend.
Critics loved it, and it felt like Patti was on her way to a great solo career. But things didn't go as planned. After that first album, her next 3 albums, Tasty, It's All Right With Me, and Released, didn't do well. They didn't sell much, and Patti wasn't getting the attention she deserved. It must have been tough for her because she was used to success with her group. By 1981, Patti decided to leave Epic Records and try something new. She signed with Philadelphia International Records and put out another album, but it didn't change her luck right away. Around this time, Patti decided to try something completely different: Broadway. She started performing in shows, showing off her incredible voice in a new way. Even though things were hard, Patti never gave up on music. In 1983, while still doing Broadway, she recorded a song called The Best Is Yet to Come. That same year, she released I'm in Love Again, an album that finally turned things around. The album included the hit song If Only You Knew, which became a fan favorite. This album sold over 500,000 copies and went gold, proving that Patti still had what it took to succeed. After years of struggle, this was the beginning of a fantastic period in Patti Labelle's career.
New developments in the lawsuit against Patti Labelle. Her bodyguards are accused of attacking a West Point cadet at the Houston airport. Now, the victim claims he was merely standing near Labelle's luggage.
After the Harold Robinson controversy early in her career, Patti Labelle's record for avoiding lawsuits and controversies was spotless throughout the rest of the century. However, in more recent times, it seems like trouble has followed her around. Whether it's because of her diva status or just bad luck, there have been a few lawsuits against Patti Labelle and her team. One of the biggest rumors about Patti Labelle was that she had a feud with the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. The media loved to talk about this supposed fight, with fans choosing sides between Labelle, known as the godmother of soul, and Franklin. But according to the HuffPost, both singers denied any feud. In fact, when Franklin passed away in 2018, she wanted Labelle to sing at her memorial service, according to the Philadelphia Tribune. So it seems like the rumors were just that, rumors. But the rumors weren't the only trouble Labelle faced. In 2010, CNN reported that she paid a $100,000 settlement for an incident that happened in 2008. A mother and her 18-month-old child claimed that Labelle verbally and physically attacked them in a Manhattan lobby. The accusations included yelling, using bad language, and throwing water at the woman. Labelle and her team denied these claims. Then, in 2011, Labelle faced another lawsuit after her security guards allegedly hurt a West Point cadet. The cadet had gotten too close to Labelle's limousine, and her guards reportedly knocked him out with a concussion. ABC News reported that Labelle was not directly involved in the incident, but her security team was. In 2014, the case was settled in favor of Labelle's security guards, and she was removed from the lawsuit, according to the Seattle Times.
Beating. King's attorney stated, quote, anyone who is seeking the truth in this will see clearly that Richard was attacked by these people with no provocation whatsoever. The video confirms it. Witnesses confirm.
Also, much of Patti's success has come with the sadness of losing her close family members. Tragically, all 3 of her sisters passed away from cancer before reaching the age of 50. In her book, Don't Block the Blessings, Patti shared the heartbreaking story of how she lost her sisters. Her eldest sister, Vivian Hogan Rogers, died first at just 43 years old from lung cancer. Then Patti's younger sister, Barbara Holt Purifoy, also died young at 40 from colon cancer. Her youngest sister, Jacqueline Holt Paget, passed away from brain cancer at the same age, 43. Losing these sisters left a huge hole in Patti's heart. But there was one moment with her youngest sister that still haunts her.
I may be known for my powerhouse singing voice, but right now, I want you to listen to this. The #1 cancer women face is breast cancer.
In an interview with Oprah, Patti explained that the day before Jacqueline passed away, her sister asked her to make an egg sandwich for her. Patti promised to do it the next day. Sadly, her sister passed away before they could see each other again, and this memory of an unfulfilled promise still brings Patti sadness.
While advances have been made in prevention, early diagnosis, and treatment through research, Black women have a 41% higher rate of death.
As if that wasn't enough, Patti also lost both of her parents. Her father passed away from Alzheimer's disease, and her mother died from diabetes. Patti's mother's death was especially hard, especially because Patti herself was later diagnosed with diabetes. Diabetes runs in Patti's family. She found out she had type 2 diabetes after she collapsed during a performance in 1995. When she woke up, her doctor told her about the diagnosis. Patti was angry at first because she saw what diabetes had done to her family. Her mother had amputations, and her aunt went blind from the disease. But just like with the loss of her sisters, Patti didn't let this challenge defeat her. Instead of giving up, Patti took control of her health. She started working out regularly with a trainer and began cooking healthier meals. She even wrote cookbooks and created her own line of sauces called Patti's Good Life. She became a spokesperson for diabetes awareness and joined groups like the American Diabetes Association to help others who have the disease. Patti has also shared how she manages her diabetes while traveling for her music career. She said she always carries her own pots and pans to make sure she can cook healthy meals on the road. She admitted that it's hard to give up some of her favorite foods, but knowing what diabetes did to her family pushed her to make better choices. Patti's advice for others is simple: live your best life, and she's certainly trying to do that. When it comes to her personal life, it has had its ups and downs, especially when it comes to her marriage to Armstead Edwards. Before they got married, Armstead was Patti's manager, but getting married wasn't easy. According to the Huffington Post, Armstead asked Patti to marry him 3 times before she finally asked him. She said, "He asked me to marry him 3 times and I said no. The 4th time, I asked him." In 1969, they got married, and 4 years later, Patti gave birth to their son Zuri. The couple didn't stop there. They also adopted 2 children from Patti's late sister Jacqueline and 2 more children from their neighbor. So their family was large and full of love. But like many couples, their marriage wasn't meant to last forever. After being together for over 30 years, Patti and Armstead decided to separate in 2000. They officially got divorced 3 years later. Despite the divorce, Patti has always said that their relationship remained respectful. She explained in an interview with Country Living that they never hated each other. She said, "I never hated him. He never hated me. We just couldn't live together. We never fought, thank God, in 32 years. We got along even when we didn't get along." Even though they divorced, Patti and Armstead still remain good friends. They continued to care for their big family, showing that even after the end of their marriage, their bond didn't break. In fact, Patti still calls Armstead one of her best friends. In 2019, they even reunited to celebrate his birthday with their family. Patti shared this special moment on Instagram, proving that their friendship remained strong even after the marriage ended.
Something performing her hit song Love and Need and Want You. Give it up for the legendary Patti Labelle.
Also, Labelle is often called the greatest gay icon of all time. She's known for being one of the most loved and respected figures in both the LGBT community and the world of Black female artists. Labelle herself has said that her gay fans are a huge reason she's still successful today. In an interview in 2017, she shared, "When I think about it, the gay fans are some of the reason I'm still standing, because they loved me when other people tried not to." She went on to say that she still doesn't know why gay men love her so much, but she's thankful for it.
Belle, give us a little taste, Miss Patti.
I love you. I love you. Honey, I love you.
In an interview with the New York Post, Labelle talked about how she has always spoken up for what is right. She said, "I'm very vocal about speaking my mind when I see injustice." She also mentioned that sometimes gay men and women feel afraid to speak out or show their true selves. That's why she feels like she's a voice for them. One of Labelle's closest friends was the late singer Luther Vandross. She shared in an interview that Vandross once told her he wanted to come out and be open about his sexuality, but he was scared of how his mother and female fans would react. This shows just how important Patti Labelle's friendship and support were to him during a difficult time. Labelle didn't stop there. During the HIV/AIDS crisis, she became a strong advocate for people to get tested and take care of their health. In 1987, she worked with the National Minority AIDS Council and helped spread awareness through the Live Long Sugar campaign. This campaign encouraged people of color to get tested and seek treatment. Labelle's efforts were crucial in helping communities that were hit hard by the epidemic. In fact, Patti Labelle is so beloved that the New York Times even called her one of America's most beloved divas, alongside Dolly Parton and Barbra Streisand. This is quite a compliment, showing how much she is loved by people from all walks of life. One fun fact about Labelle is that she's the star of a popular web parody called Got to Be Real. This show takes a humorous look at celebrities, and Labelle's character is a favorite among fans. Another interesting thing is how, during the 2010s, a live performance of her singing This Christmas at the National Tree Lighting Ceremony in 1996 went viral every year. The video became famous because of Labelle's funny reactions to some technical problems during the performance. People loved it, and it became a holiday tradition. Patti Labelle's legacy is more than just her music. She has used her fame and voice to fight for justice and support the communities that have always supported her. She continues to be a role model and an inspiration for many people around the world. She has done a lot of things in her long career. Patti acted in the Academy Award-nominated film A Soldier's Story and appeared in popular TV shows like A Different World and American Horror Story Freak Show. In 1992, she even had her own sitcom called Out All Night. Later in 2002, she hosted a lifestyle show called Living It Up with Patti Labelle on TV1. At the age of 70, Patti joined Dancing with the Stars in 2015, showing her energy and love for life. Patti is also a successful businesswoman, launching her own products like bedding, cookbooks, and food. Her sweet potato pie became especially famous in 2015 when a viral video made it a hit. In just 3 days, Walmart sold one pie every second. Patti has sold over 50 million records worldwide and has been honored with many awards, including being inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame and the Hollywood Walk of Fame. She is known for her powerful voice and emotional singing, and Rolling Stone named her one of the 100 greatest singers of all time.